Boy, you're welcome. To the barber shop. You're welcome. To the barber shop. Barbershop Podcast, episode number 195, which means week 195, 195 consecutive weeks, coming to you live each and every week from Boxo Studio in Hamilton, Ontario, the blast furnace of real original live music, featuring real original live musicians, real people with real stories, real songs, bringing them to you, filling this town with the kind of life force that a great city needs. And we are welcoming not only Ryan Cannon, but Gary Greenland to the studio once again. Two of the big reasons why this show looks so good and sounds so good is the kind of light and the kind of magic these guys can shine on myself and the guests here every week. I want to give a great shout out and a hug to you guys in there.
A virtual hug.
A virtual hug all the way in there.
Thank you. That's very kind.
No, it's like
people. You can't hear him, but Gary said thanks.
Yes, I know. It seems like we don't care what Gary has to say, but it's more of a time restriction thing, and we just. I could go on and 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 on about how Gary doesn't have a microphone, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because Gary is here basically for his good looks. I appreciate that. But we also do music every week. We do life stories. We talk about the craft and the creation of music. We talk about life in music. We talk about the funny circumstances and the happen chance that happens in a life in music, the inspiration, the perspiration, the reason for doing it and keep on doing it, as we do here at Barbershop Podcast. This week is no exception. So stoked to have these two back. They were here, if you remember, during our Corn Christmas show, made a brief appearance and blew us away. Anyone who's seen them around town knows exactly what I'm talking about. They've just returned from the East Coast, where they've had a very successful tour. Their EP is ready. The CD is printed, and it's a really good time to have Andreas in the studio with us tonight. And I want to welcome Brian Andreas and Jenny Lockman into the studio, and thanks so much for coming back. How are you guys doing?
Great. Yeah, thanks for having us.
So, talk about music. The two of you, before you talk about the two of you coming together as a musical force individually, we'll start with you. Were you always a musical kid?
Yeah, I was a drummer most of my life. But my dad was so crazy about Elvis, I guess I couldn't stay away from singing, and he kind of inadvertently pushed me into this, I think.
Yeah. Well, Elvis always had a kick-ass band, too, though, so I guess those records had a huge impact on you as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just listening to all the stuff, specifically the 60s and the 70s, when you had the best songwriters in the world just gifting him songs, giving him songs. So when you grow up listening to Elvis, you're not just listening to Elvis, you're listening to the best rock, and not so much rock, but at least country writers at that time.
Yeah, and the production as well, because they were talking about some really groundbreaking recording techniques and things that kind of happened over the span of his career. Right, Jay? Were you forced to take piano lessons or something to keep you off the street because you were a wild child?
Yeah.
Is that what the story was?
Yeah, that's accurate. No, I was just naturally inclined to it.
Yeah.
So I played since there was a piano always in the house, and I was at it. So Mom stuck me in lessons since I was 5, I guess.
Right.
But I've been playing my whole life.
Right. And working, you're familiar working with songwriters, and you guys write together now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, was that a process? Like, talk about when you started writing, were you someone who always carried around a big bucket full of songs and you didn't have enough hours in the day to turn them all into music?
It's usually the other way. Usually, if I'm working with the person I was working with before, when we were 5-piece, had all of the all the riffs and such, and he would bring me all the riffs, and then we would just go back and forth. I'd go with melody and lyrics, and we just kind of fight each other. And that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her used to the way that I like to work.
Yeah, and it is a process because there's so much to be gained working in a relationship with someone else, and then finding out how to do it as effectively and pain-free as possible at the same time, right?
Still working all the kinks out of that.
Yeah.
It's not a cathartic process yet. It's work.
So what at the core, when people talk about the music you make, what do you tell them? What is it that separates you? How do you identify yourself? How do you kind of brand yourself if you're painted in that corner?
Just like big, semi-anthemic, like pop rock, and just like colorful melody and like big choruses, and just now it's pretty much like it's Bon Jovi or Def Leppard without the band. That's what we shoot for.
We're a big sound for two people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's important because both of you obviously hear the full arrangements in your head. Do you talk about those arrangements and see if they're the same kind of arrangements? And you just play out the parts that you're able to with the two hands and the voice that you kind of given you?
It's mathematical, kind of the way I like to put stuff together. I like to color things in after we've figured out like the rudimentary stuff and the bedrock of how you're going to put everything together.
Right. Well, we're dying to hear an example of it. We've got something off of your new CD. When is this? Is it officially released or about to be released?
I think it'll end up being next week. We're just waiting for a bunch of iTunes stuff.
Yep.
To go
is
through.
A process to kind of go through. So you're hearing it right now. If you're one of the lucky ones watching on Twitch TV, which we stream live every week, or you're checking it out on YouTube, support the band. We will have their links on this show. Pick up their CD from their site. They will direct you in the best place to get it. And what's the first one you're going to play for us tonight? You're going to start off with a live one because we love live music here, because it's important that you support the live music experience. So what are you doing?
We'll start with the first track on the EP. We'll do a live version of that song called Hurricane.
Okay, anything you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, kind of a little
Yeah.
interesting story. So I came up with like the idea for the song 4 years ago, probably, and I couldn't figure out how to finish it, so I just sat on it. I sat on like the first line of this song for 4 years, and then one day it clicked. Everything just clicked one day, and I was able to bring it to Jenny, and we were able to work it out. So just a lesson to songwriters. So sometimes you just have to. It has to be incubated properly.
Yeah, but have faith in it when you know that that's going to crack the door. That's going to be a great song. Okay, Hurricane right here, right now. You're going to hear it live. BarbershopPodcast.com.
Changing, but the day in my hand, it's not the trying, but I can't seem to quit. And every morning I'm just deeper in it. It's so right, I just wish you could stay. It's so right, I ain't better this way. It's so right, it'll all come to pass. It's so right, you love to the last.
Sergey and Andreas, quality stuff barbershop podcast every week. Original music. There's nothing like getting something delivered from the person who conceived it, created it, and gave birth to it. I mean, going in any kind of live music experience is great, but live original music is just the bestest. All right, speaking of the bestest, going to give a shout out to our great sponsors over at Hamilton Artists. They're in their new location, snug as a bug, at 627 Main Street East, Unit 102. That's on the main floor there, right at Sanford Avenue and Burris. That'd be just west of the Big Brothers there. Fantastic building. It's got lots of floor space for all of the inventory that they have and all of the machines they have. If you look to have something printed on something, they are the people to do it. They will etch it on it. They will print it, paint it, you name it. It doesn't matter how big, how small. Hamilton Artists are the people who will take care of you. If you are in this business, you know it's a struggle constantly to get your brand out there, to make people aware of who you are. And when you get those fans, you get those followers, those people do want to support you, and they will, with a mug, a t-shirt, keychain, mouse pad, a hoodie, something. Get your name on it, get it out there, get people supporting you the way Hamilton Artists can. Check them out. 289-396-1653. Again, they're at 627 Main Street East in Hamilton, Ontario. All right, we've got Andreas in the house tonight playing music. Talk about the evolution of your music. Is it basically just an evolved version of what it always was, or has there been any kind of great transitions or changes from the time you came in and started working together, or over that time period?
I thought like the most honest way to present a song would be like the stripped down acoustic kind of. So the only thing that's really for me, I still want to write like these big, huge rock or pop anthems or something. But I like the honesty that comes with just doing a duet. It's two people, or just like, it's the most honest. There are no pretensions about somebody with just a guitar and a piano. It's not like a heavy metal song where it's like, wow, you didn't do any sweep picking in this part, so there's no double kick here. So there's all these things that come with being in certain genres. So I like, it's like almost like a genreless music. Yeah,
and how important the spaces are. Becomes much more evident when you're dealing, especially when you have to play sweet notes. There's not a room for that kind of wretched excess. Now, working around when you're playing with him, his voice is very instrumental in itself, and you can tuck in there with your harmonies, which are very nice, but it's so strong. And how do you find you're playing with the piano? Do you play off his voice as much as you play off his guitar?
No, it's his guitar, actually.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest challenge for me, actually.
Because I am not very good. I know
no, it's
two
not
and a
that
half
he's not good.
chords,
He's
and
just he's a very loud guitar player too.
Yeah.
And
I'm just trying to hear myself while I'm singing. That's the problem. This is the problem. You should just be playing to my voice. This is for decoration at best. A lot of this is lip synced for everybody that's watching.
His voice flows beautifully over top of all of the songs. It's that's just like the icing on the cake. It's getting used to the way he plays the guitar.
Did you always sing that way, or was this a struggle of voice lessons and practicing and getting it to be strong? Because I mean, you had to go through a period when you were younger. It was probably easier, and then you had your voice change, and you had to learn how to sing that way.
Kind of. It was mostly just like, well, Elvis is loud and Bon Jovi is loud, and that's kind of just the direction that I went. Or if I wanted to be able to sing like a super impressive Elvis ballad or something, I needed to have a strong voice
and still have range at that kind of volume level. That's the thing, you can't run out of gas just when you get there. You've got to be able to do a couple of calisthenics while you're flipping. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. All right, we're going to play the first one off of the EP. It's always a process putting something together. Were you relatively undamaged coming out of the process? Everyone was happy and fulfilled?
There was a hospital trip during the recording of the EP.
There always is.
That's about it, though.
Yeah, that's true. So the day we were going to record our last vocal session, I think that happened.
All right. This is a tune off it called Less Than. Anything you want to tell us about this one?
But we debuted that song, I believe, here the first time we were here for the Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the first time we'd ever played that live.
Did it change much since then, or was it pretty close to the bone?
No, it'll be pretty much it. It'll sound better on that, that's for sure.
It always does. Yeah. You get to go in, you get to be luxurious.
Yeah.
Well, here it is. Less Than, Andreas on barbershoppodcast.com.
Baby, I got a lot to say, but you could throw it away. God, save me. It's a real slow burn, but that's the way it turns. Oh, maybe it's just a warm embrace that'll keep you safe. Oh, maybe, oh, you're human too. Baby, there's a song we know on the radio's been playing. It's that old refrain, come around again. They're singing of the hopes and prayers and how they care. Oh, baby, oh, what about you? And how we are, oh, we know you're less than I, but I love you so. And I have heard your cry, but you're less than I, still I love you so. Lately, we got the flag down low, but this ain't your show for forsaken. Did your mama explain how we're not the same? Oh, maybe it's just a warm embrace that'll keep us safe. Oh, maybe, oh, you're human too. Yeah, we are, oh, we know you're less than I, but I love you so. And I have heard your cry, but you're less than I, still I love you so. You're less than I. We are all we know. You're less than I, but I love you so. And I have heard your cry, but you're less than I, still I love you so. You're less than I. Less than I.
Off this self-titled EP that is Less Than, soon to be released, this being the first Wednesday in August 2016. It is a August 2016 release. You're going to want to get a hold of this one. Check out their website or their digital downloading partners. Of course, that's what the interweb is so good at, getting the word out. And if you like them, share it with the people. Not the pirated music, just the band, where they can get a hold of it. So about going and touring, something is important to do that although people do have an ability to reach out and download and digitally access music, it is seeing a band live and having those kind of fans and having that word and that excitement that goes out, that kind of generates a career in this music, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's something, like everyone talks about it, like the feeling that it doesn't matter what you put into it, what you get out of it's always so much more, that kind of return of energy that you get from the stage.
It's a completely different experience when you're playing for a group of people that are right in front of you.
Yeah. And what's been, I guess, overall the reaction's been fairly positive. Not that someone's going to come up and tell you suck and throw something at you, but people are, I guess, when they do tell you they like you, they tell you why they like you.
Yeah, we haven't been booed yet. Some redneck wanted to beat me up. That was the only problem we had
That
on the
was
whole
before we
tour.
played, though.
And that was before we
could
played.
have soothed him
Yeah, we
if we
You were
played
just
for
too
him.
pretty, that's all. You threatened up on his masculinity, God damn it. All right. But you sing and you play beautifully, and I like that, say the Bon Jovi or that balladeering rock and roll, okay? And sure, we don't have the band, but the sweeping, the sentiment is there. It's great music, and we're going to do another live one. What are you going to do for us next?
We'll do an Andreas classic. We'll do Beyond Repair. It's a song off our first EP.
All right. Right here, Beyond Repair, live on barbershoppodcast.com.
Always been told what's yours and what's mine. My shoulders are low, it weighs on me, I'm fine. Lashing betrothed to fate that's not mine. Down is alone, I still walk a straight line. Don't you tell me it's not that bad. It's not the worst you ever had. It's not right or it's not fair. 'Cause we're broken down. Yeah, we're broken down beyond repair. Finding my way ain't easy going alone. Always this place, never had a house so alone. Born in this grave, second chances I've never known. Lost all my faith, sold out, piece like a stone. Don't you tell me it's not that bad. It's not the worst you ever had. It's not right or it's not fair. 'Cause we're broken down. Yeah, we're broken down beyond repair. Always been told what's yours and what's mine. Don't you tell me it's not that bad. It's not the worst you ever had. It's not right or it's not fair.
Great job. I love good music, and music, I think the tenets of music, it should communicate, it should motivate, it should make someone feel something. What were some of the great musical loves of yours? Talk about that. I mean, I guess you could call them, maybe some of them guilty pleasures these days, but other ones that became like still to this day when you hear it, like you identify with it and you kind of say, yeah.
Sinatra.
Yeah. Is that a parental influence, or that's something you kind of stumbled across on your own?
No, I stumbled across it on my own on like an old radio show when I was in high school. Everyone was listening to Top 40, and I just couldn't get into it for some reason. But I found this old radio show where they playing old classics like Ella Fitzgerald and Sinatra, and so I sort of leaned towards old big band music. Actually, yeah.
I love that. The democratic process of the old AM radio and whatnot, especially when you were a kid, because you quite often couldn't see what channel it even was, and you basically went by the ones you could receive that were too fuzzy, but certainly was a channel for me for a lot of jazz and blues and stuff out of Buffalo when I was a kid in Fort Erie, having access to music, and not necessarily what was popular, because right that period before being popular was so important, you just kind of listened to whatever clicked with you. And was it the arrangements?
I was fascinated just by the sound of all the instruments in the band. I couldn't get enough of the harmonies and the chords, and I like jazz music, but I don't consider myself to be a jazz player, but I love listening to the harmonies with that kind of music. I was drawn to it.
Cool. What about you, Bri? Was there something that kind of maybe someone could look back now and say, wow, that was a telling time, or that was a big influence?
Growing up, the only two artists I listened to exclusively were inexplicably Elvis Presley and Alice Cooper, which explains everything about how I like to write things. And so I like that sad kind of melancholy song, but I also like stupid metal songs about strippers. So it's like so I'm right in the middle there. So
It is a wonderful blend, because I think both of them understood that putting on a show, and that at the end of the day you're a song and dance band, but both of them really quite textured and intelligent individuals under that persona. Were you prepared for that, kind of going into it, saying I've got to be its very best a version of me? I certainly can't go out being myself. I have to make up some sort of avatar that's going to be me.
Yeah. When I'm still trying to do that. You kind of figure out after a while, like, oh, I can't do what Elvis did, or I can't do what Freddie Mercury did, or what else, or all these. You just kind of have to figure out the best version of you. So I'm still trying to figure that out, what the best possible version of that is. So I've said for a long time now, what I really want to do is write these big. What if Gordon Lightfoot wrote Bon Jovi songs? It's kind of what I want. I want a nice poppy, accessible song that's what I like to listen to. But I want lyrical content that matters.
Yeah, and it can happen. I like that. I do. It's right up my alley. We're gonna hear another one off the CD. This one is called "One More Day." Of course, available on the upcoming, soon-to-be released EP. Want to tell us anything about "One More Day"? Is it an anthem of?
No, it's just it's a really cool riff that I really like. And it's a song about lost love.
Gotta love it. BarbershopPodcast.com.
I love the way you feel, love the way you smile. What I'd give for one more day. I've been trying, but I've been loving you too long. Takes reminding before your heart should turn to song. Is there nothing I can say? 'Cause I've been trying, and I don't know what the hell to do, my dear. Won't you help me? Won't you save me? I've been trying, and I don't know what the hell to do, my dear. If I could just say those things you need to hear, like I love the way you feel, love the way you smile, what I'd give for one more day. I love the way you feel, love the way you smile. Love the way you feel, love the way you smile. What I'd give for one more day. Yeah, love the way you feel, love the way you smile. What I'd give for one more day.
One More Day, Andreas, on barbershoppodcast.com. They are here in studio, performing live and debuting a CD that's going to be released this week, perhaps next. Being an original music act, do you find it limiting or do you find it freeing, or a combination of both? Some people, to go forward in music, kind of say, okay, I've got to play the songs that people already want to hear, but at the same token, I'm here to write, I'm here to produce, and go forward with my own music. How did you deal with those two worlds?
It's tough. We're still trying to deal with it. Just on the tour we did, is because if you want to make any money out there playing music, you're not going to make it doing original stuff. Just even on the tour, it was like 80% covers versus the original stuff we're trying to promote. So it's tough, but we're trying to get away from that and just focus on doing our own thing.
And do you find that you wind up playing your covers more and more like your own music? So when you sneak your own music in, people kind of go, "Oh, I really like that one. Where's that from?" And you go, "Chances would have it, that's ours."
We were just talking about that, how we play the songs that we have to play to kind of that we can sell, but we're better at a certain kind of song, and they fit in better with the stuff that we're doing. But we're kind of all over the map when it comes.
And then people end up liking those more anyway.
They do. Yeah. It resonates more when we do covers that sound like our stuff, because I think it's more authentic.
And now that this is, you've done this going through, do you finding that you've got core here and there, people who heard your early stuff, caught earlier performances, or now the people kind of come back with one or two more people, starting to build that core audience of people who kind of get in what you do?
Yeah.
What's been the most effective for someone out there who's kind of in the same boat? And we're all kind of feeling around out there because it changes so quickly. What seems to have resonated for you as far as getting people to take notice and what you have to do to get heard?
Just being honest, I think, in what you're, not only just in how you write your own songs, but in how you perform them, if that makes any sense. You have to be an honest performer as well.
Yeah, and don't stop, I guess. That's another thing you have to...
That too.
Because people, if they kind of said, if I don't get it by March, if I'm not here by March, I mean, it's tempting to want to do that. But I think you just have to continue to have it, obviously if you don't feel for it, if you don't love it anymore, you put it down. take a rest. But my goodness, you never know when that next show, and it could be someone with 5 people in it, but one of them could be a writer for a magazine who writes something that somebody sees, and then they see you on the next show, and it's staying in the game. It's staying in. I don't want to call it a battle or a war or a fight, because it's not.
Kind of. Well, it's like this is a naive quality you have to try to, that you're aware that you have to pretend that you don't have. You have to go out and play to like an empty bar or something. It's like, well, there's one person here, but I bet that one person is such and such who's
J.R. Got Rock.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of have to believe that as you go, to keep you going.
I sure as hell do. All right. Barbershop Podcast. Such a treat having you in here. I'm going to play another live one for us. What is up next?
We'll do another Andreas classic off of the first EP called Time After Time.
Time After Time. We'll take your microphone off your neck so you can actually sing into it.
Yeah.
You're going to get it right here. You're going to get it right in the ears. BarbershopPodcast.com.
Time after time that you were away, suppose there wasn't much reason for you to stay. Gave you my arm, however much there was a give. Gave you my arm. Only this is a season, this you call the bear. Damnedest thing about gave you mine, however much it was a gift. Gave you mine, gave you mine. Oh, never want to take any chances. Oh, your nose should have seen the sign. You keep on killing me.
Good stuff. Andreas right here at Barbershop Podcast. They sound like bona fide rock and roll anthems. to me. Like, that is something, if I heard on the Mighty Q driving down the Parkway on a Sunday, I'd be like, yeah, I remember that. And it's like, wait a minute, maybe I don't. And that's a good thing. Something should tickle your fancy. And it's a generational thing, because you're not an old dude. That music is appealing to, and I often see that, right? It was a couple of years ago, a couple guys in high school, and they look like me and my friend in high school. Same pants, same shirt, same haircut, everything. It's like, oh, it's come around, the 30-year cycle, right? Mm-hmm. And that music is popular to that. It's not ironic. They're not playing it because it's like, oh, I like melody and I like a driving rhythm and I like a high rock and roll voice. It means that there's a bunch of people who buy CDs who will like your stuff, right? They're still uncomfortable around downloading stuff from computers, and that's what you want. Get some fans in there. And playing live, was that something you entertained at any point? To blow it up into like a big, say, okay, even if we like hire some guys, like, you know, record it as layered and textured as you maybe hear it in your head?
I think we're working our way up to that eventually. I think ideally we'd like to get some really good guys in and go around, because there is so much more that you can do. That's the whole thing.
And I'm telling you, I really like the way you guys write. It lays it down for you, and it works in that kind of, I don't even want to call it sparse, because it's definitely, with the piano, like we said, you've got the whole orchestra right there. So it's always nice having a piano in the band, because you can use it for so much more than just foundation. You guys do play together. Was it easy right off the bat? Like, did you mesh pretty good musically together? Yeah. There's struggles. Any fights?
Yeah, we fight all the time.
I think that's just natural.
Yeah, it made sense when we kind of stopped doing the 5-piece that we were in, and this made the most sense. We started doing this while we were doing that, the 5-piece, and going out to open mics, and just like this seemed to work, because this lets me get out my John Denver stuff that I like, or my Gordon Lightfoot, or Mark Knopfler, like that aspect of songwriting music I like, whereas like a band gets like their Bon Jovi and Queen stuff. Like, so it's just like a different outlet for the same.
Sweet. Yeah, no, that makes a great amount of sense. And again, you hear those songs, you know it resonates with people, and it kind of works itself through what you write in your own material. It's just by process of elimination, you know, this has got, you know, the kind of the feel to it, the hooks, you know, it's got to be musically appealing. It's got to be, and as far as subject matter, it seems that you're really good at kind of writing in that reflective quality that isn't too specific, but it's specific enough to like a time and place, almost like a postcard as opposed to a snapshot. You know, you're kind of an overseer and viewing and making a nice statement about something that, and I want to say you're cloying, you know, or the song is couched where it's like, okay, this could appeal to a whole bunch of people at once. Do you have to write from a personal standpoint, or can you kind of look at a situation and write a universal song?
Well, first off, that was as apt a description I've ever heard of what it is that we like to do. That was well done. I'm gonna go back and watch that later. I'll use it in our bios.
Steal it up. Steal it up.
Kevin says about it. I like to do a little bit of both. I like to have all the songs that I like lyrically. Anyway, I like them to be duplicitous. I like it to be about me, but at the same time, it's absolutely accessible to anybody that wants to hear something else in it.
Yeah, that's the way you have to do it, I think. Yeah. You know, and you sometimes surprise yourself in the middle of that thing that you think's about you. In fact, it's about all of us. And I imagine this one's going to be very much like that too. This is off the CD as well. It's called "Away From Me." Is there a story connected to this that we should hear?
No, just about kind of getting away from where, like, being stuck and just wanting to get away from what you're in.
Wow. God knows, in the middle of summer, with all the kids home from school, there's probably a lot of people feeling that right now. You're going to hear it at barbershoppodcast.com.
Far, far away, the and down. And I'm possessed by thoughts but never owned, a gilded king without a throne, screaming I'm looking for just one road out of this town, out of this hole. Ain't nothing here but yesterday. It keeps getting away from me, keeps kicking me up and down these streets. So unkind this life to find, it's later than it seems. It keeps getting away from me. It's out like these, you let it bleed. It hurts like hell and it gets away from me. Another year gone off the tracks. These crooked wings have broke my back. I'm down and out. So just build upon me as your rock. Hold my hand and hold my doubt. Hold on tight. I'm looking for just one road out of this town, out of this hole. Ain't nothing here but yesterday. It keeps getting away from me, keeps kicking me up and down these streets. So unkind this life to find, it's later than it seems. It keeps getting away from me. It's out like these, you let it bleed. It hurts like hell and it gets away from me. I'm burning down the main way strip. If I really put my wheels to it, you'll be a ghost and I'll be gone. I'm coming now. It keeps getting away from me, keeps kicking me up and down these streets. So unkind this life to find, it's later than it seems. It keeps getting away from me, keeps kicking me up and down these streets. So unkind this life to find, it's later than it seems. It keeps getting away from me. Yeah, it's not like these, you let it bleed. It hurts like hell and it gets away from me.
And that's Andreas here at barbershoppodcast.com. You can check them out. You can check that song and many more out on their new EP that you're going to be able to receive. Follow the hyperlinks. It's all there. I'm going to give a shout out to our good friends at Taxes Done Right. They took care of us. We got what was coming to us and with no penalties. So that's what you want when you want your taxes done. You want them done right. If you're late, that's okay. You know, you probably still have money coming to you. You can avoid all those costly penalties, receive the credits that are due you. Any previous year's adjustments and whatnot will be taken care of. They are real people, not a corporation. They won't rip you off or burn you. They understand this business or any business that you're in. And if you have bookkeeping that you need on a week-to-week or a month-to-month basis, they will take care of that too. They are good friends of the studio. They love music. They love us. Love them back. And that's Taxes Done Right. All right, Barbershop Podcast is pleased to have Andreas in the studio. Just returned from a tour of the East Coast. They're back in Ontario. It is busy season. I mean, to get in there and kind of do this for yourself when you've got a new product such as this and you have to get out and promote anything that you've got coming up in the fall or that you know that's you can share with the people at this point in time?
Right now, we're just recovering from the tour and
Yeah.
figuring out what to.
We literally just got back a day ago.
Yeah.
Just walked in from the tour
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah, literally,
This is
that's
the
how it
first
works.
stop.
Well, we appreciate you coming in because you're obviously still sounding and playing really well, and that's what, woodshedding will do that for you. Make sure you went in, recorded something. You had to be good for that, and then you had to come on the heels of that, and then provide that live performance. Make those fans, come out. If you heard something you like, follow them. Like, look for their social media presence. Look for them. Where you can get a hold of them. That's what Google and those other things are good for. The link again will be here on Barbershop Podcast. And like, follow, and subscribe us. Boxo Studio. We do all sorts of good work here. And we got 195 episodes of original live music. There's got to be something in there that you like. Go support those people. Go out to a show. Go out to a showcase. Tell your kid to take music. When your kid comes home and says, I want to buy a guitar, you go, what kind? All right? That's the way it should be. All right, I'm getting off my soapbox. Barbershop Podcast, justifying its existence since 2014. Ryan Cannon, so much fun. All right, we're going to do another live one, and then we're going to show a video that you got. So what live tune are you going to do for us?
We'll do the last track on the EP called I'd Be Lying.
And I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't not thrilled. Yeah, that almost
It was good.
makes
It all
sense.
came together at the end.
Almost. Anything you want to tell us about it?
I guess it's just a song about whether or not you could ever really be honest with yourself or someone else. And I think the answer is no.
That's
I think
cool.
that's what you take away from it.
It's great. That's the kind of depth you want when writing a song right here. We're going to hear it. BarbershopPodcast.com.
Take it easy, don't you cry, don't you cry. I've been running, this much is true, but it ain't like that. It's been coming, this I know, for some time. Won't you stay? Will you eulogize this beautiful life? It ain't nothing but the truth between you and I. And if I told you I didn't mind, I'd be lying. I'd be lying. Don't you ask me if I'm sure, 'cause I'd be lying. Don't you ask me if I can, 'cause I'd be lying.
Ah, deeply powerful, soulful music from Andreas on Barbershop Podcast. Most excellent. If you like good, and I dare call it rock and roll, you know, you may want to put a gilded slippers on it, but it's rock and roll. I can tell your daddy's Elvis influence has had its bite on you. But seriously, when you want to write something that is balladesque or something that carries with that kind of weight, you really do have to edge it up. It's very easy to fall into that saccharine honey trap, isn't it? And then the song is just weighty and lame because it's just full of sentiment, but no.
That's a good way to look at that one. That one's like a ride we have to get you to buy into it, like I'm 2 minutes into it, so that you'll hang on to the end where the
Yeah.
bite kind of
Yeah.
comes in.
It's well done though, because it's like any seduction. There's a process, and the payoff has to be there. You can't make all these promises and then leave someone kind of like, wow, that was a bad meal and bad conversation and good night. You know, you get a handshake sort of thing. You need to deliver the song, the promise of the song, in the end. And surprisingly, you're a fairly young dude, but you seem to have a good grasp on how to segment a song and how to look at it in a very kind of clinical manner.
I think that just has a lot to do with the music. It has everything to do with the music I was raised with by my mom and my dad. Because my dad wasn't, or neither of my parents were really into like really overly progressive music. So it's mostly just like mainstream #1 hits that I heard from whatever.
Yeah.
Or with the case of Elvis, I was talking about how he just had the best songwriters in Nashville, just giving him the best songs. So when I think about putting something together or crafting something, I'm recalling listening to thousands of songs that were really successful and well crafted.
Yeah, and it was an industry at one time, and there were, so many people working at so many levels behind the scenes. It was all, the whole concept of singer-songwriter is still so new. It should be. It's exciting times. All right, we're going to play a video. Fancy a video. You're going to join the video age here. This is Don't Blame It on Love. Do you have a story with this video that you're going to present here on Barbershop Podcast?
Yeah, we have this obsession with, I do, and then I guess I made her have this problem.
I grew up. I don't
Also
wanna,
obsessed.
Yes, this was a guilty pleasure actually that I liked too. So.
With hair metal. For me, I could talk to you. We could have a whole podcast where I talk about hair metal. It's the greatest form of music that ever was. Just super melodic and over the top. And so I came across this band called Danger Danger, and they were just this hilarious, awesome band that was like Bon Jovi light, kind of like they were really great, really talented musicians. And I heard them play this song, this like Don't Blame It on Love, which is just what I imagine the guys in that band must have just been sitting around a table, and they were like, "Well, how do we put like steroids into Living on a Prayer?" It's just like this over the top rendition of that. So we decided it's kind of obscure. Not a lot of people know about it for whatever reason. So we figured we could do cover. Like if we stripped it down and did our own arrangement of it, we could do this cover. And we were thinking, I bet we could get the attention of the band, the guys that wrote it, if we did this. So we did, and it took a long time to make this like heavy hair metal rock song and kind of make it into what it is that we do. And we did it. And we ended up getting in touch with the guys that wrote the song, and they ended up liking the band, and like the writers, Steve West, one of them, he's a drummer in the band, and he's written with he's wrote with Alice Cooper and other stuff like that, and he said he really liked what we did with the song, so it was all worth it. It was a lot of work we put into it, but we got to talk to Danger, which was sweet.
That is great. That is a great story. I love a song with a great story. Don't blame it on love. barbershoppodcast.com.
You thought you had everything that you wanted, but something was wrong from the moment this started. I followed your lead, you're touching your teeth, yeah. Well, I've had enough, girl, you're not fooling me, yeah. You got one too many tricks up your sleeve. Come on and blame it on me, don't blame it on love. Tough gets going when the going gets tough. Sooner or later, be calling your bluff. Whoa, don't blame it on love. Caught in the web of confusion and passion. You talk about love like it's out of fashion. No guilt or shame, it's all a game, yeah. I'm more than a face, baby, I got a name. And while you got no love, yeah, I had it tough, don't blame it on love. Tough gets going when the going gets tough. Sooner or later, be calling your bluff. Whoa, don't blame it on love.
Another fantastic song, another fantastic night of real original music coming to you from Boxo Studio and Barbershop Podcast. This has been episode number 195. I want to thank you two for coming in. Hope you had a good time tonight.
We did. Thanks a lot for having us.
All right. For Gary Greenland and Ryan Cannon, I am your host, Kevin Barber. We will see you next week, as we do every week, every Wednesday, live on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/podcastbarber. See you next week.